I grew up in the world, just lived however I wanted, believed God was real, but wasn't somebody that actually answered prayer. Like he was off in the distance, but whatever. He didn't really matter. I was just living my life, having my own fun, partying, drinking, smoking weed every day, living crazy. Then in college, started to get into heavier drugs. I was experimenting with whatever was out there. I had even literally tried opium and spike, and I remember, but at the same time, I started to hear God's voice or started to think about Him randomly where I hadn't before. And I remember there being a night where I was just like, Lord, is this you speaking to me? And similar to what you said, Lord, if you're real, if you're trying to like talk to me, show me a sign, show me something. And then Brian, like you said, I was walking. It was a Sunday night. Nobody was out in the streets. Cold winter night, and I turned to go back to my dorm. This was my first semester in college, and I look up and I saw a church when I wasn't expecting to. It basically just like hit me like a ton of bricks, and then felt like I got struck by lightning, literally, because I felt just immediately God's presence in His love, and I just heard Him say, not audibly, but like I guess just in my spirit, "This is what you asked for. I've been with you your whole life, and I love you." And it just wrecked me, broke me down. I I was just like literally crying there in front of the church, and but like I said, at the same time too, I had been experimenting with a bunch of drugs, so my brain was all over the place. But then God used that to get me away from drugs. He really like detoxed me. But I was at the point like, wow, God is real. Let's go. And I was just telling everybody, wow, God is real. He loves you. And but I was also, like I said, all over the place. So I told you this part where because my brain was not in the right place, but at the same time he was saving me. Counselor I went and saw suggested I go to a psychiatric hospital. So and I
You did tell me that, yeah.
yeah, and I also at the time felt God saying, whatever she's saying, go do it. In your mind, you don't want to go, or you're like this, but I want you to do it as a testimony. Like I could kind of feel that coming on. I was like, all right, let's go. And during the time, like God was speaking through me, and I was excited to be there. Weirdly, and tell people that God loved them there. But then when I got out, then it was confusing. Then it was like, I would see counselors at the time, and they would say, "Oh, well, this was just an episode. This was, all these things," and nobody would really say it was God, except for my grandma. Man, she was just such a warrior for Jesus, man. Always believing it, and she just knew. She's like, God has saved you. He has touched your life, and man, ever since then, like, I don't do drugs. I'm not on any medication. Like, God has given me a family, like a child. Amazing. So God is so good. We cannot imagine like what
Amen.
He is capable of doing, delivering us from, and all the glory goes to Him.